a highlight of our CP verification visit was that when teachers were interviewed by the team regarding their understanding of IB standards and practices and philosophies, all of the teachers were able to articulate well how those things applied to their individual courseworks, whether it be in the CP core, or whether it's in the career-related programs, or whether it was in the diploma program. All of them were able to tell how that applied in their particular area and demonstrate a deep understanding of it. In addition, our students were also able to articulate the learner profile to tell how it worked and how it fit in their lives and how they could apply it. They were also able to discuss things from multiple perspectives. So that was a real true highlight for me. When in collaborative sessions, I think for me it's the opportunity to have my mind challenged that is the thing that gets me the most excited. Our staff, who, as I said, are well-trained in IB philosophies, understands the need for educational risk-taking. And so it's a good thing to be able to challenge each other, to listen to each other's ideas, to be reflective on them. And so that, to me, that energy that we develop is really important. In these discussions, I serve multiple roles. The primary one I serve frequently is as the CP coordinator. In that role, I have to be able to articulate and to help deepen understanding of people how they fit into the CP, how the CP overarches and overlaps with the diploma program and those kind of things. In addition, as a 7-12 school, I'm able to help people to build a scaffolded pathway from the 7th to the 12th grade. And that's important, both the vertical nature of it and the cross-curricular nature of it, to ensure concurrency of learning throughout the program. As a learner in those exact situations, even as I'm leading it, I have to be able to hear teachers from the lower levels because I haven't taught MYP level in a long time. And so I need to hear them regarding how students are capable of doing different things, what levels they're at, what they can be expected to do. We want to push our students, but we don't want to frustrate them. In our planning, we've used several documents, but currently we are using the DP Unit Planner. It's important because the DP Unit Planner allows us to be very specific and intentional about planning those critical areas that make an IB education an IB education. Approaches to learning, language learnings, those sorts of things are very important. The other thing is that we've been using the middle years planner, unit planner, for several years. We use it across all of our 7th through 10th grades, and additionally in our 11th and 12th classes that are not DP classes. So we're well versed in the MYP planner, and it's kind of a cognate of the DP planner, which is also an advantage for those teachers that teach both MYP and DP. As a workshop leader, I think it's important that we remember that adults function frequently in the same way that students do. We acquiesce to the understanding that students need to do as well as to hear. Well, adults do too. So it's important to provide time for adults to get tools to be able to do things like create their course outlines, to be able to reflect on how they might craft things to fit their particular needs. And so that's a pretty important function in those areas. The other thing that I do is I enter with a positive presupposition that those teachers, those adults are there to learn. So collaborative learning is important. You can help bounce ideas off of each other to see maybe how that thing does fit in your area, what it looks like in other areas. It also allows us to create a kind of a cohort of learners that carries on outside of the workshop, so the implementation of the things we discuss in the workshop can go on a little more strongly and develop even further. At Alameda, the intentional application of the learner profile is an expectation. We teach all of our students through our advisement classes what the attributes of the learner profile are and how they look in the lives of a 7th grader or a 9th grader or a 12th grader. So the students are well versed. In my own personal classroom, I believe that it's very important to be able to be a risk taker and to exhibit caring character. And that's because in order to advance education, in order to advance understanding, you have to be a risk taker. In order to be a risk taker, you need to feel safe. And so if we have a caring environment in which you can share this information, then that pushes our learning much deeper and much farther ahead. One of the things that I do to address that is to make sure that we have collegial conversations with each other, that the students can sit and really dig into content and context and make sure that each other understands it. Well, that requires listening. And while listening and speaking is a communication skill, it also indicates caring as you're listening to other people without judgment. And it also indicates risk-taking as you're willing to put yourself out there. In explaining how we develop international mindedness in our department, we must first understand that Alameda is an international school. It's not just international because of IB. We have 80% of our students speak a different language than English in their homes. There are 17 different languages or more spoken at Alameda High School. Our students come from a mixture of cultural backgrounds. And so we have this international mindedness built into our culture already. In addition, we use service learning opportunities for our students to be able to develop that, so that while we are acting locally, we are thinking globally. We do things like our local food drive. So global hunger is an issue. We address the local area of that while keeping an understanding of the broader nature. In addition, right now we're doing a fundraiser for Limbs International. Limbs International provides prosthetic legs for people in foreign countries that need those and don't have them. And so we do a fundraiser for that here so that we can provide for people outside of the United States. Finally, we've done a coast-to-coast cleanup, which involves people from Australia to Italy. It happens on the Saturday of Earth Week every year. And so while we clean up a local waterway, we share that with people from across the globe. And so our international mindedness is a primary focus at Alameda International.